Hi, I'm Holly.
And I'm Charisse.
And thanks for tuning in to Ask Mom.
We get a lot of questions about having a baby.
We don't. We do not. Although we do have videos on teenage pregnancy.
Yes.
Yes. So those could be helpful for you to check out if that's what you mean by a fear of having a baby.
But so there's two things about having a baby.
Right.
Having a baby and then having a baby.
What does that mean?
I don't know, because I didn't know what the two things we were talking about. Okay. One of them is like the fear of being a teenage mom. And you should be very afraid of that. Because you should be a teenager at that time, not
Keep
a mommy.
the fear.
Keep the fear.
Hold on to that fear. Rarely will we say you should fear things that you should be afraid of. We've talked about having goals, having dreams, having those things help guide you out of activities that might lead you to becoming a teenage mom, right? Because if you have those things, if you imagine a future for yourself, you're usually going to imagine a good future that isn't full of stress. And being a teenage mom is a very, very stressful thing. It is a reality in our day that there are teenage moms.
Well, it's just being a mom in general has its own stress. So being a mom as a teenager when your brain scientifically is not fully developed,
right,
is even more stressful.
Right. There's only one way to assure that you will not be a teenage mom. You can't be giving yourself.
Keep your knees together.
Keep your knees together. I know you love him. Or I know you think he's super cute and hot, and that maybe he will love you if you allow him to be intimate with you in that way.
And you may even want to have his baby. Just don't do it now.
You may be imagining
right?
He will be your husband down the road, and you will have beautiful children. Let that be down the road. Let it be that you get married, and he has a commitment to you, not just here's your little promise ring, or wear my class ring, or here's my cardigan, or I like you.
Right.
Or you're like no other girl I've ever met, whatever. You are not ready at this age to commit to a relationship that should lead to sexual intimacy. It is just not the time.
And having his baby doesn't mean he'll stay with you forever.
No, it just means you're stuck with someone who's going to be with someone else, and you'll be taking care of his baby.
Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah, so just choose something better for yourself. You're worth it.
How many teenage moms do you know that where the teenage boy raises the child?
Yeah.
How many?
None. It's
None.
the parents and the girl.
So the boy gets to walk away, really.
Yeah.
And so you're left with maybe hoping you have his last name, but really just your baby does.
There are extreme situations where girls are raped, or situations happen that are out of their control that become something like this. But an overwhelming majority of girls who are pregnant were pregnant because they said, okay. It could be that morally you have a strong feeling about right and wrong, and there's a spiritual component to that. So lean into that and just trust it, that you will find the right guy in the right time who loves you, and that you don't need to give him all sorts of things that are a part of yourself that you're not ready to do, just because you want to hold on to him, or,
Right.
Or you're scared that you'll be the only girl to leave high school without your virginity, or with your virginity.
That's a good thing.
That's a very, very good thing. If anyone's telling you it's not, they're a liar. So, but if your fear of having a baby is really the fear of childbirth, I really experienced that as a kid. I thought, I really want to be a mom. I am terrified to give birth. Let me just say, there are great drugs out there.
It's true. That is true. And I don't do drugs, so it is true.
So when you are an adult woman, your mind will be in a very different place than it is right now, in the place where you fear childbirth. Now, it doesn't mean that you might not have some fears about it, but you'll be in a place of acceptance and being ready and anticipating it and being excited about it, to the point where you'll be willing to do pretty much anything to have the baby, and even if it involves a lot of discomfort. So, and you may be surprised that you think, I want every drug on the planet, and when it comes to the time, you go, oh no, maybe I don't. Maybe I want a natural childbirth, or maybe I want whatever. So you may be surprised at how your mind changes when it comes time to have a baby. But you can have a baby naturally with no drugs at all.
I tried that.
Yeah. You can...
No, what I'm saying, you could have a baby naturally with no drugs at all, and I tried that. It didn't work for my body because I needed to go to had to end up going to the hospital. And I was okay with that. I was okay with end up having to have the drugs. Those worked just fine too. So there's a ton of different plans that you can do. And your plan may not, I guess we're talking to older ones now, but your plan may not work out the way you want it to.
Right.
And that's okay. You just have to go with the flow.
That's right. Well, you had the flow, and then you
it
didn't
stopped
have the
for
flow.
9 months. That was the best thing of being pregnant. Sorry. If you're fearing pregnancy and you are pregnant as you watch this video, you will love the fact that you don't have your period.
Rejoice in no period for 9 months. Absolutely.
That's
and even a few months after.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's various levels of drugs that they can give you. So it's not like you're knocked out. You're not knocked out. Our moms were sometimes knocked out in the past. They would knock you out to have a baby. Still don't understand how that works. But anyway, so various levels of drugs, and they all work great, and they're all really, on the whole, I mean, there's some horror stories, but for the most part, the drugs work great. And you get to be awake and have the whole experience and not have the, intense, uncomfortable pain, which is wonderful. And then there's also C-sections, which happen for emergency situations or for situations where the doctor thinks it's safer for the baby. And even a C-section is no big deal. Like, I've had 3 of them, and it was no big deal at all. And still a wonderful experience. Still got to be there, see the baby. I was awake, but I didn't have any of the pain. So, so don't, if that's what you're afraid of, just be able to let that go. Just trust that it's going to be okay, and it'll be exactly the experience you need to have when you need to have it. And in the end, hopefully you'll have a really beautiful, healthy baby. So hopefully that alleviates some of your fears about having a baby.
But if you have any more, you can write your fears down to us at
hollycharisse@yahoo.com or right here on our YouTube address. So thanks for tuning in. I'm Holly.
I'm Charisse.
Bye.
I hope we didn't give them any new fears.
I never thought about that.